Hey everyone, this is Tanya from Wow Finds. I'm here today with Kiwa from Plantaform, and Kiwa, maybe you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Tanya, for having me. And Well Finds has been a great help to Plantaform in the last year. So I'm happy to talk to
Yeah.
Tanya again. It's been a while. I'm Kiwa, so I'm one of the co-founders at Plantaform, and I was in charge of designing the product. So that was my role in the team, and now I'm in charge of doing the customer relations as well as keeping sure that the app and the user experience and everything regarding the product is making everyone happy.
Cool. Maybe we can start with what inspired the journey to create Plantiform and the Rejuvenate system, because I think in reading everything that I have, and talking with you, it's a really kind of inspirational and interesting story as well.
So yeah, the main inspiration behind the company and the product itself was feeding the world of the future. So it was looking at how the trends kind of formed within the last 10 to 20 years of the cities becoming bigger and people moving away from rural areas and cities becoming mega cities and just the scarcity of food in general. We always thought that food is going to be relevant no matter what age we live in. So we wanted to kind of promote that and promote self-sustaining households to begin with. And doing so, we wanted to make that as sustainable as possible. So I was looking at how urban farming trends were doing in regards to traditional agriculture kind of slowing down in the sense of because it was just using too much resources in regards to soil and water. So we wanted to kind of work both things together and make sustainability and healthy foods more accessible to people living in the urban area.
Awesome. That's really interesting. And while you were developing the system, I think you guys are based in Ottawa, Gatineau.
Yeah.
Kind of what collaborations and what outside influences helped you during the development?
Yeah, so the initial idea came from just an experimental paper that was written by NASA a long time ago. So they were researching and looking at how they could have fresh produce on their space missions. And one of their conceptual ideas was using fog to grow this produce in space, but due to the gravity and the different gravity in space compared to Earth, they couldn't really refine the tech and make it work on their mission. So we thought that was really fascinating, and because in theory, like the fog aspect actually does use much less water than just keeping the roots sitting in water and having to use a pump to flush it out every few days. We took that kind of paper and wanted to elaborate on it, and then we wanted to make a product out of it using less water than typical hydroponic systems. And that's when I reached out to my partner Albert. We were best friends in high school, so a long time ago, and then we decided to form the company together and make this product a reality. And eventually we got help from the NRC and IRAP as well to help develop this technology further in Canada. So yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. So you and Albert, high school buddies, are you of an engineering background? Or
Yeah.
different backgrounds to kind of help be more well-rounded?
Yeah. So Albert and I are very different. We have very different backgrounds. So I'm an industrial designer, and he is more into business and
Okay.
he did sales in the past as well, but he's had other startups before, and this is why I reached out to him because he had a lot of experience with creating a company. So yeah, he was like the perfect partner, as well as we had a lot of history together. So we knew each other very well. So we made a good team, I think, because I had no idea in terms of anything regarding business and how to make a company and a team and everything, but he had all those expertise. So yeah, we formed
awesome.
the group together. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's interesting. We talked before about my background being more kind of sales and marketing and scientific research equipment. being able to form a company, run a company, starting Wow Finds with my husband. It's helpful when you
Yeah,
know the person really well,
of
but
course.
have such different backgrounds to be able to pull from, because there's so
Yeah,
much involved when you're a small startup company to obviously know what you're developing, how you're going to develop it, but then how to run a business. There's so many different things. So I think that's awesome
yeah.
that you guys came with the complements of skill sets,
I
for
definitely
sure.
believe like opposites attract. Like looking
Yeah.
at my parents, like they're the complete opposite. So, you know, I
Yep.
think
Yeah.
having a business is like maintaining a relationship or a marriage. So,
Yep.
so
Yep.
it's very
Takes
similar
work
to,
all around.
yeah, definitely a 24-hour job. So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
It's funny because we have two little ones, and they're often helping us, and they always want to help us at our vendor events and see the website and things. So it's cool. And
yeah,
when we got our Rejuvenate system, there's some funny videos of them thinking that we're growing aliens, and but it's
yeah,
also been such a learning experience for them. You know, they're 4 and 6 years old, and for them to understand that we can grow plants inside and we can have fresh fruits and vegetables anytime we want, and they can go pick them and eat them. To me, there's so many facets to why we love the Rejuvenate system. And that was a big one, was to actually, from such a young age, instill that in our kids, and that it is important to eat fresh vegetables and be sustainable in the way that we kind of interact with our world and our planet. Um, so there's a lot more to it than just having
yeah,
fresh
for sure.
vegetables.
It's really nice to see your kids interacting with it because like
Mhm.
education is something that we initially didn't really think about at the start.
Yeah,
But looking
yeah,
at like seeing your kids as well being so involved with growing their own stuff at
yeah,
home,
yeah,
like a lot of people nowadays don't really know where their food comes from as well.
yes,
So you just go to
totally.
Costco and you buy like bulk, like whatever it is, and you don't really know where it's come from or where it's sourced, what fertilizers used or pesticide and
Yeah,
all this stuff that you're consuming as well. It's not like it's good for your system at all. So it's really cool to
definitely,
see kids being or your kids like learning about it from a young age. So they in the
totally.
future they know exactly like where their food's coming from and like they're also educated on like this technology as well and how to grow their own stuff. And I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love it. It's funny, both my parents grew up on farms, and they were the only of their siblings to move into the city and have different jobs outside of farming, where Chris's family, completely different, always lived in the city. And I remember
Yeah.
one time we had apples. We went and picked apples, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make applesauce." And he's like, "How do you how do you do that?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, so here we go."
Yeah.
And it's such a funny story that we tell all the time. And it's like, we want our kids to be educated, and so we take them to my cousins' farms and my aunts and uncles' farms, and they see the cows, and they see the one of my relatives has bees. We're watching the bees going in and out of the hives, and just all the different crops, and they're so interested in it. And I love kind of fostering that imagination in them and that knowledge at such an age that they don't realize that they're learning
Yeah, of
about it.
course.
you know I think that's
Like
awesome.
it's something, yeah, like everyone, I guess, including myself, we all take for granted nowadays is that everything is so accessible and easy. So
Yeah,
we kind of we don't really think about, oh, we can make our own like salad or food, we can
right,
just like
right.
order it online or something and it'll
Or
come
open
to
a
your door.
bag.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Or open a bag. Yeah,
Or open
exactly.
a bag.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. Um, so, we have a system here. We love it. We bring it to all of our vendors events and get awesome feedback from people. But who would you say is kind of your ideal customer, or the people that you've seen kind of most interested in the Rejuvenate?
Yeah, so I think the most interested people, or the people that have our Rejuvenate system in their homes the most, are actually, yeah, like households like yourself that have a family, or they're just really into like healthy produce as well. So people that are health conscious and love to eat their own stuff at home, as well as we got another end of it as well, that people that are really into tech, like new tech.
Mhm.
So
Right.
people that are tech savvy really like this product as well because it is
Yeah.
the first of its kind using Fogponics, and
Yeah.
it's like a first of its kind commercial system that has this integrated. So it is,
Yeah.
yeah, it's mainly households, people that also don't have enough space for like a big outdoor garden. they kind of they like to use this as a substitute because you can get a lot of produce from it. So that is a big benefit from it. I
We
guess
just took a
everyone,
look at ours and there's a lot.
yeah, yeah. There's a like you have to eat it like every day.
You do.
To kind
Yep.
of,
Yeah. Or it gets
yeah,
ahead of you. That's for sure.
yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
it is something that limits the amount of space that you need, but it kind of gives you the same benefits as well. And it gets rid of the need for dealing with like insects, bugs, like kind of the outside garden stuff that you get along with
Sure.
like soil and all this stuff, and relying
Yeah.
on weather as well. Everything is controlled inside, so I guess that's something that people also like about it.
Yeah, I think, knowing, and we were talking earlier about making our pesto Gouda prosciutto grilled
Yeah,
cheese sandwich in the middle of winter here in Canada,
yeah,
as I said, if I bring like a pot of basil from the grocery store into my house, it instantly dies.
exactly.
Where
Yeah,
like instantly it is like she can't keep plants alive, and I can't. I have no ability. But the Rejuvenate, and I'll pop up a picture here. Um, it literally, it's controlled by the app. It does everything. Although we talked earlier, and it can work independent of the app if you're someone who doesn't
yeah,
have a cell phone and doesn't want to do that.
yeah.
And I literally just fill it with water and the amount of nutrients that the app tells me once or twice a month, and
Yeah.
we're
I guess
done.
yeah, I forgot to mention that, but yeah, I know you just mentioned it there, but it
Yeah,
is like if you go to the grocery store, you buy like I mean, like herbs are now super expensive, so you buy
yeah,
like a little herb thing for like $10 to $15, and then you have to use it all, otherwise it just dies in the fridge. But
right.
like with the Rejuvenate, you can like trim it every day or every week, and
Yeah,
you get like, and it keeps growing back, so you can get like fresh produce every dinner. So
yeah.
it's a real benefit. But yeah, you made me really hungry with the sandwich.
Sorry. It is lunchtime
Yeah,
here, so yes,
yeah,
we should get on that. That's too funny, too funny. Um, with a startup company and everything, designing a new product, what kind of challenges did you guys face as you were designing and developing this? Because I'm sure there had to be many, and some you'll share and some you won't, for sure.
yeah. I think the hardest thing definitely was because we were working with the new technology, it required a lot of testing and time. So when we were like, and we're growing live produce too, so we didn't have like, well, sometimes we had like a shortage of time and we had to kind of meet some deadlines, and then like we couldn't get the plants growing as well as we wanted to, and then we had to like reconfigure a few settings. It's just it was a lot of a time that we had to spend doing that, and also I think with a lot of startups, like definitely the cash issue as well, like
Mhm.
because we had to purchase, we made everything in Canada, so having to buy these things locally here, it's definitely much more expensive. And then going overseas, and like that was complicated for sure.
Definitely. Definitely. No, for sure. And I mean, we're sitting here now, the beginning of 2024. I presume you were in development during the pandemic, or I don't know if you
Yeah,
started prior to the pandemic, but I mean, working through all of that would have been just that additional challenge to everything that you were working on.
yeah. We actually started the company 1 month before COVID, so it was just in time.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
was actually yeah working in Australia, and
Mhm.
Alberta was in Canada, so
Mhm.
the time difference was like 14
Yeah,
hours or so. So
right,
it
right.
was like it worked sometimes to our advantage, and a lot of the times it was very difficult for sure.
Yeah,
Some
definitely.
days or one of us would have to be up at like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah, yeah,
But it
yeah.
was like
Just to get it done. Yeah,
just to get it done. But
yeah,
sometimes it worked because we could say send something, and then I would be sleepy, and then Albert would be in the
yes,
day working on
yep,
the prototypes, and then vice
yep,
versa kind of thing. So,
yep.
but yeah, it was a balance,
Definitely, definitely.
trying to
No,
make
that's
it work.
cool. That's a commitment. It's a commitment to like your belief in the system and the company and wanting to make this product that is now come to fruition.
Yeah, that's actually the most satisfying thing for
Yeah.
everyone, I think, is actually starting something from nothing, and it was just
Mhm.
an idea, and then
Yep.
it's just an idea, and then now it's actually a reality, and customers giving us feedback, and
Yeah.
people actually using it is like the most rewarding thing, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. There's an awesome social media community that kind of helps support each other, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I think there's been a little bit of media attention. I've seen some different things. What type of media outlets have you kind of gotten recognition from?
So we've been on Globe and Mail, CTV, Leicester Affairs, Le Droit, and Ottawa Business Journal. But we also work with a few of our partners. One of them is the F1 driver, Yuki. So
Oh, fun.
Yuki, yeah, so Yuki Tsunoda is a friend of ours, and he
Cool.
helps us with posting and trying to just spread more awareness of it, because he's actually very into food. So he loves
Nice.
food, and
Cool.
in the future he would like to have, after his F1 career, I don't know
Yeah.
when that is.
Yeah.
I'm hoping in a long time.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
wants
Yeah.
to have his own restaurant, and
Oh,
his
cool.
favorite herb is basil, and he
Nice.
loves tomatoes as well. So he definitely loves the fresh food aspect, and he's been in Canada quite a few times while we've had our company up and running, and he's visited
Nice.
us, and yeah, he loves it. So it's great to get help from him as
That's
well.
awesome. Absolutely. Absolutely. Last quick question. Any plans for future developments that you're able to talk about?
Yeah, so we've been working on this plan for nearly a year now, but we definitely want to make a big vertical farm. We're trying to work currently with the Ottawa Council as well as Gatineau, just to promote more self-sustainability within this area first. We want to create a bigger system that can produce much more produce to supply to, say, IGA, for example.
Right.
Just so they don't have to import as much stuff from overseas, especially during winter here. Growing stuff is very difficult. Yes. So we're trying to implement our technology and our system now into a vertical structure. So that is something that we've been working on for quite a while now.
Nice.
And that is still something that we're going to pursue, in the near future.
Awesome. We've talked a lot about the Rejuvenate. I think you either recently or you are releasing new pod packs. So I know we have the herb essential, the edible flowers,
the
fresh
salad.
salad,
Yeah.
and there's a superfood. Those are 4. Is there other ones?
Yeah, so we're actually releasing 2 new ones in the next month or two. They were meant to be released by Christmas, but we got delayed a little bit. So we're very close to releasing them. So one is a romaine lettuce pack. So it has 5 different types of romaine lettuce. They grow actually faster than the fresh salad mix that we currently have. And I personally think they're much more tastier. So they're really good. And another one is a cocktail mix, which has mint, thyme, dill, and basil as well. So that's more like for the summery vibe, like when you're making mojitos and stuff like that.
Yeah. Mint is one of my favorite flavors, so I can't wait for that one. But yeah, summertime would be good for sure. Well, our dog has decided to join us, but
after that, like in the months after, we actually also are going to be releasing cherry tomatoes.
Oh, so perfect. You mentioned tomatoes with the driver, and I was like, oh, that would be awesome to combine.
Yeah, the cherry tomatoes they're really good as well. We've done them like few months of testing already, and they grow really well. So we're hoping we can release it like end of Q1 this year or start of Q2. And then another one is an Asian cuisine mix we have like after that.
Nice. Awesome. That's exciting. I love the different combinations. You know, it's awesome to be able to kind of pull all the fresh things together. And I know Chris, who runs Wild Finds with me, loves like a fresh caprese salad. And so with the basil, he's just over the moon with, and then adding the tomatoes in would be great.
Yeah, you guys are like chefs as well.
Yeah, well, I love to cook. Absolutely love it. Chris and I have actually done a lot of cooking classes together, which is a lot of fun. So when I have the time and the kids are entertained with something else, I quite love to cook. So it's good.
Excellent. Yeah, that's awesome. I love cooking too. So that's
and fresh is always better.
Yeah, fresh is you can't beat it for sure.
No way.
I forgot to mention as well, we're also releasing very soon a grow your own feature. So you can use your own seeds.
Perfect. Awesome.
And you can try whatever you like. We
Right.
can't guarantee that it'll grow as well as like what we have, but
Yeah.
it is something that a lot of our customers wanted. So
Yeah.
we are releasing that very soon as well. So we're trying like with strawberries and stuff like that. Whatever
Cool.
customers feel they would like, we can the best thing is we can update settings over the internet. So
Right.
yeah. So
Right.
we are releasing that feature as well.
Cool. So they would take the existing pod and just put the
Yeah.
material, or would they still buy the pods? Okay. And then they put their own seed in, and the app, they can adjust kind of the lighting, timing, and intensities and
Yeah.
things like that. Awesome.
Yeah. So
That's really
if say
cool.
if our customers already have the capsule, the pods,
Yeah. Yeah.
they can we can sell them just the empty rock wool, and
Inside.
then they can
Yeah.
put their own seeds in. Or if
Yeah.
we will be selling the empty pod packs as well. So
Perfect.
they will be cheaper than the ones with seeds, but we'll just
Yeah.
give them the empty ones and they can
Yeah.
put their own seeds.
Cool. That's awesome. I think that's a really great advancement, just to allow people the flexibility to
Yeah.
do as they want with them. But to your point, there's no guarantees because you guys haven't tested out every single seed possible to know the
Yeah.
conditions and things like that. But
Yeah.
it's good. Even if they
But
grow half as
we
well as what ours are, I think everyone will be okay.
yeah, for sure.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate kind of getting to know a bit more and sharing kind of with our customer base. So thanks for your time, and we'll catch up again soon.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tonya, for having me
Yeah,
again. And it was good to see you again. So
of course.
yeah, thank you very
Cool.
much.
Yeah.